Hello and welcome to the 2026 Summer League for Dragon Warrior Randomizer. The group stage is just starting to ramp up, and for our nightcap tonight we have a Hawksness group race between Beta on the left and atomraptors on the right. On your restream team tonight we have Vela V on the restream, NG Dave tracking, and I am one half of your commentator duo, A Secret of Demand, and joining me is Zaytrex. How are you doing, Zaytrex?
I'm doing good, staying up late for never hurts anybody.
Luckily, I'm on the West Coast, so this is just normal for me.
Well, I'll try to stay awake. I'm sure they'll make it an exciting race for us.
Not too much exciting in the starting stats, but at least they aren't stuck in low AP jail.
Yeah, 12 is a nice starting place, gives them a few options depending on what the opening zone throws at them. Yeah, this will be should be an entertaining race tonight. Beta, the returning champion, Atomraptor has made bracket 2 times in the last 3 years. So neither of these players are anything close to a slouch. They should give us a good show.
Yeah, both very strong racers in a very, very deadly looking group. Not that there are too many groups that don't look deadly, i.e. none of them. And it looks
absolutely. The community as a whole just keeps getting better and better every year.
Looks like we are beginning now. Okay, never mind about the nothing exciting. I think that was Erdrick's sword, wasn't it?
I missed it. I had a flash of static, but we'll see it on beta side since his stream's about 15 seconds behind.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they're off to the races.
Atomraptors with the brief. I should double check to make sure I did get sword, not something else.
Yeah, you never want to accidentally mistake the sword for token or vice versa.
So with this HP total, they'll almost certainly still stay in the east, western, or south zones. Skeleton here is absolutely like the perfect enemy to see. And another 17 strength. Oh my goodness, this one could be fast. Do more.
All right, they're getting all tools right out the gate.
Atomraptor's gonna try to explore a little bit. If he can find, like, this could, given how fast this looks, this could be the first person to find an enemy like this. Never mind. Okay, no, that was just a little breath.
Yeah, maybe worth coming back to take another swing at it.
Welcome in, Utah. You missed them getting the sword in the throne room. It is not going to shape up to be a long seed, seemingly so far, but Dragon Warrior can always throw some curveballs at you.
Yeah, you never know when your HP is going to stay stuck below 40 and then deal 2 breaths all over the map.
Or all it takes was, say, one sleep red dragon on a spiked Tylan Charlock.
Very true.
SP looks pretty even between the two of them so far.
Beta's going to go scope out this desert, see if he can't find something juicy.
Warlock's not juicy, but not a bad enemy to see at this point. That said, it looks like it's... depends. If Atomraptors is in it or not, this could be kind of a meh zone.
Warlock is dodging.
Oh no! Okay, even though the Droll Magi only has the small version of the breath, it can also put the racers to sleep. So that's not really something you want to grind until you can one-shot it.
Yeah, that's the baby Wombo.
Honestly, so far the only thing difficult in the seed seems to be finding a a place to grind. That said, we do have Beta setting up a reverse count, basically checking how far the coast is for coordinate counting later.
Yep, and Beta still needs to see the Droll Magi, and that bad news, but we'll see how many kills he gets over here before then. Level 5 comes with a completely useless hurt spell.
I'm sure it'll be useless. Yeah, you're right.
We got another town on atomraptor's side.
Circling back around to it, a couple ways to explore from here, and it is Garenham. Honestly, I respect that decision completely. There's really no reason to check the shop. You don't have the money to buy any good defensive gear, and you don't really need it. Right now, the name of the game is just finding things you can kill in 1, maybe 2 swings. Which does not include blue dragons.
No, sir, it does not. Well, it's got hurt. Might be able to get away.
Ooh, and on the other side, the Droll Magi isn't the only dangerous thing in that zone. It looks like Magidrakes or Drakimas have hurt more.
Meanwhile, this Magiwyvern's throwing out some stop spells. May be able to take it down.
That's honestly pretty perfect. That's an enemy you maybe wouldn't want to fight usually at this HP total without a bit more strength. That said, a bit more strength just arrived.
There it is.
But if it's going to stop spell you, you can just completely ignore the stop spell and just swing through it. Looks like atomraptors isn't going to stay for much longer than a single fight, though. Wants to keep exploring. Beta also making his way down here. Now we'll have our first check of the weapon shop. We have not much you'd want to buy except a full plate. Plenty of weapons, but I get the feeling neither of our racers will be taking either of those.
I mean, when they only offer you 1 gold for your sword you have, is it really worth it?
Yeah, they should really offer more. Also seeing a fair number of golems on the way here. That's a pretty dangerous Sherlock enemy, but low agility means shouldn't hopefully be a impediment to getting over here. And it could be useful later.
Absolutely. So we're still struggling to find like the grind zone at this start. We may see them continue to explore. The desert was polluted. The Magiwyverns had those blue dragons, and while there were some lovely wolf lords right outside Garenham, they also had the golems.
Yeah, upside is the golems are at least easy to get away from generally, but at the same time it's desert, and if you're only going, never mind, it's worse. Oh no!
No, even worse.
That is, I believe I cursed them with that. I think I specifically said Red Dragon was asleep on the spike tile. I am very deeply apologetic.
I mean, the audience did want something more interesting, so I think you pulled through for them at least.
So that is going to be a really bad thing. I think this is a choke point outside of Garenham, isn't it? It looks like both the racers checked in other directions from Tanagel, and they have to go this way. So anytime you die, you're going to have to brave Sleep Red Dragon Zone, which is not fun.
Definitely not. And you see atomraptors skirting the side there, hoping there's a zone boundary to dodge the red dragons, which may have worked out for him.
Meanwhile, Beta finds the other dangerous Sherlock enemy that is red in form of an AK-47, an armored knight. I didn't see it have any dangerous abilities, but it can definitely be very run blocky, especially when you've only got 37 agility.
For sure. And there's the golems being dangerous. Just as atomraptors was getting somewhere new.
Yeah. Like I say, generally those should be pretty easy to get away from, but 37 agility makes a lot of ills. Beta, though, it looks like he's escaped the confines of that area and found a metal slime.
Now we get this second metal slime, possibly.
Oh, honestly, AP where it is, that's something to keep in mind.
Goldman just being a nuisance with sleep.
And Little Breath, it wants to join the fun in killing the racers, and it did indeed kill Beta anyway. Oh.
That's the moment where, like, the one time I swing on a Goldman, it gets sleep blocks me and kills me.
The game has jokes, that's for certain. So he'll be starting out from home again. Meanwhile, Atomraptors has made it roughly to where he died earlier, and is going to check out some more of this area. And also be the first to level 8, which has another chunk of AP. That's pretty nice so far.
I think that was him getting to 7.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Also
Another metal slime zone.
Yeah, and another metal slime run. Ooh. Wyvern might be perfect here. Never mind.
Ah. Oh man, this seed has jokes.
The game knows, and the game wants to laugh. Looks like Beta is going to be crossing the bridge as well now.
It's been fairly barren across the river here so far. I feel like over-under on Atomraptors finding something soon ought to be pretty high, given the ground he's covered.
Yeah, if he doesn't find something soon, there's almost certainly just a corner packed full of things. That said, this area is also pretty wide open. And also filled with blue dragons. Meanwhile, while I looked away, Beta was the first to hit level 8. Did actually provide another 10 power anyway, so power is getting up there pretty quickly. And another red dragon find, this time by Beta.
Gonna try to... When he sees the sleep, yep.
Yeah. That Healmore was bold, but to be fair, there really is no good answer when you've got 46 agility.
Yeah, I think that was Beta's first time seeing the red, so...
Honestly, he was close enough to home where that might have just been an attempt to see what it had. And if it was, he certainly knows. Beta back in and do a little shopping and upgrade to a chainmail. Atomraptor is still running around without armor and without anything in sight but coastline. I believe that's... yeah, we've traversed one side of the coast to the other now.
Still nothing over here.
Yeah, this is one of those map constructions that it really feels really tricky when there's basically only one way you can go until suddenly you can go any direction at all, and you can't really spiral too easily from here because there's a bunch of little fingers and red dragons.
Hopefully gets away, though.
Yeah. Beta, meanwhile, is back on this side of the bridge. Axe Knight is probably still too much. If they had a little bit more HP, but that said, he's also out of MP now, so he will just get his MP back, as it were. It's kind of amusing when the racers have Erdrick Sword, 67 strength, and are swinging at scorpions.
Every little bit helps.
Back attack golems do not help, but luckily Beta will get away from it in his first actual turn of battle. I will note Beta here exploring north, so we could see something new. And I don't... Did we know that... Yeah, we did know that Blue Dragons had hurt. That's actually pretty good right about now.
It looks like Beta's going to try and take advantage of it. It's feeling like 75%, though our sample size is still a little low. Oh,
never mind.
Of course. All the jokes. So once Stop Spell comes along, then that'll be juicy.
Yeah, sorry to the audience. We made the mistake of assuming Dragon Warrior could be kind. The randomizer has no kindness. Oh, but it does have a town.
But does it have another red dragon with sleep? Aha!
Not unless this is Hawksness. This is Hawksness. So it had a town. That said, he's going to check the spike tile here, and that's absolutely the correct play. That said, there are a couple things he can't beat. This is going to be nervy, because it can do some serious damage to your back.
Yeah, I think he might fish to see if it's got an ability of some kind. We'll see.
He's also got just enough defense points where, just like he did there, he can fish for low swings, but he's going to need some big swings of himself at this point.
Yeah, it might be doable.
Yeah, it's gonna be real close. That said, it's currently remembering what kindness is, so he's got a fair shot, I'd say. Especially after that. Yeah, there it goes.
There we go, 41 to finish it off. Looks like atomraptors may have picked up their first metal slime along the way.
And Beta will get another level and get Sleep and Repel. Sleep would have been useful a bit ago, but he will get nothing under the search spot. There are 3 search spots in the game, and that is our first one checked, and we have nothing there. And we also have a run-blocking Axe Knight. What a roller coaster of a ride that must have been for Beta, although he's used to them. Atomraptor's not far behind level 9.
Yep, he seems to like this desert he's found, so he's been going back and forth here.
I think it's entirely possible that Repel might cause him to leave, and it looks like it maybe did. Nope, he's still at it. Yeah, this is... even the Rogue Scorpion has heal more. Still, it's the best zone the game has presented so far, and past a certain point you just have to accept you're not going to find a better zone.
That's true. I think Beta's getting us some new territory with these swamps.
Yeah, I think this was north past the bridge and then to the east instead of the west.
Yeah.
Ooh, could be a tough enemy to get away from, but he's going to try taking it on. I think it should be fine, generally. Just depends on if Beta is tracking the max damage an Armor Knight can do, which, to be fair, almost certainly is. One interesting thing is, from Atomraptor's exploration, I think we know the coast is, yep, right there. So, not too much ground left to explore here.
Oh, but we do have a cave.
Not what I'm foremost hoping for at this point in the seed, but at the same time, it's better than nothing. Could be a key in there. Could be Erdrick's armor in there.
I mean, could be, oh, two
Could be
caves.
another
Okay.
cave in there. Oh,
Please could be swamped
please.
to another continent.
Please be swamp to swamp. Ah, chat.
Alas.
The dream is dead, long live the dream. This is Mountain Cave. 5 checks in here. Hopefully nothing too dangerous for Beta. Well, hopefully for him. It's another level on Atomraptor's side.
Alright, Death Necklace for Beta at the top chest. He's going to head down to the basement.
That will remove a large chunk of your HP and give you 10 AP. Doesn't look necessarily usable, this seed so far, but it can always surprise you. Also a dragon scale and the fairy flute.
And a magic key was down here as well, so he's got keys now.
Oh, that's really big. Meanwhile, Atomraptors has found a town up in the north coast. Oh no, that's just Oxness again. At least he still found it.
Oh no, Troll Magi.
It's just rough, especially because the resources are maybe already going to be rough to. Never mind, he's just going to die instead. That's seen a
That's
couple.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I've seen a couple long sleep runs by the players. That said, when you've got so many enemies that have things, not that surprising.
Alright, a second key in the last chest. Beta's going to see if there's anything else down here.
Yeah, not going to take the gold grind, which to be fair, well, the gold grind potential, which to be fair, there's a lot of exploration past Swamp Cave here, and that lands him another town. Although, okay, phew, manages to get away from the blue dragon and finds coal with the second search spot.
Okay, we got Stones of Sunlight on the coal spot. Weapon shop, mostly at expensive things, but Beta might be able to loop around here later, or just keep on trucking and see what he finds elsewhere.
Yeah, at this point it may be a while before he returns to Tanagel, potentially, so if that ends up being the case and Grave is down there, you can just do a self-contained gold grind if you want to get that magic armor or the silver shield. Meanwhile, Adam back into Hawksness. And once again slept, this time to be a back attack by the Droll Magi.
It's brutal.
That was Harp Trading Cave there to get the staff, one of the 3 items to turn into the Rainbow Drop. So that's big information there for Beta.
Yeah, atomraptors has the benefit of having sleep for this fight, which is especially effective on stone men.
As are crits. He'll also get the bad news about nothing on the search spot.
But hopefully the good news for us is he'll get a chance to check out what's west of Hawksness, which we have not.
Another town on Beta's side.
Quite gotten to see yet. Assuming the entire stream doesn't freeze. There we go.
Meanwhile, Atomraptor is now getting the information about Blue Dragons having Healmore, and Beta finding Cantlin.
And just across the river from Atomraptors is another cave. We'll see if he actually has a way over there, or if that's over on a second continent with Beta.
Yeah, if it is on the second continent, it would almost have to be northeast of where Beta is now, based on the land masses that I've seen so far, I think.
Yeah, that feels right.
But obviously there's no way for Atomraptors to know that. Oh, but there's just a path here, so... Also have Beta checking the coordinates for the overworld search spot. And getting the news, go home. There ain't none.
Wow, 2 empty search spots in this seed.
Does raise the odds of armor being in Sharlock, which is a worrying specter for us all. And by all, I mean the racers. We can just enjoy it.
Everyone who played the asyncs.
Oh, that cave on the other side of the river was a grave. And it is required with a silver harp in there.
Fighter Shrink's a nice bit of gravy. So that's somewhat to Beta's detriment, seeing as he already found the Staff of Rain trade-in.
Yeah.
So a bit of wrong ordering, unfortunate for Beta's side. We'll see how badly that hurts him.
That said, unfortunate for Atomraptor's side, he's checking it on the same time that he checked the Hawksness Spike tile, so he's out of MP and will not deep dive. But that said, there's a town there to rescue him. If he wants to deep dive, he now can do it with some safety, and he'll also get access to his own keys. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see a site of Sharlock, and we also see Tablet Cave, so everything's getting explored really quickly now all of a sudden, which is generally the case when you have a seed that goes so long without having found anything.
But while the racers don't quite know what the other person has found, we know that at this point the only things outstanding are going to be back of Garenham and Freebie Cave.
That said, Beta in a very good position now because that Tablet Cave had Erdrick's armor, so Tablet Cave is required. Second Continent is doubly required with 2 trading caves, and also with 1 trading cave, and also, oh no, he's just circled around to Swamp again.
Yep, so at this point I think he's full cleared Second Continent, so he'll be heading on back. Likely has an idea that he needs to head back in the direction of Hawksness, so he'll be high-fiving Atomraptors, assuming he doesn't randomly get jumped by a red dragon.
Yeah. That's it. Interesting now, as Willoughby noting in chat, we have everything on our side. We have everything seen except Token, including Death Necklace and Fairy Flute. So Token is somewhere in one of only a couple of remaining places. I believe we have the back of Garenham, as you said, and
Freebie Cave, so 4 chests. Yep. Oh, right, yes, Deep Grave.
Oh, and completely forgot. Also, Tendril Treasury. So that said,
Right.
they've at least already
lots of
found
places.
that. So if it's there, they just got to go back. That said, that's actually going to be an interesting thing because right now neither of the racers necessarily needs to go back as much, and that will drive Atomraptors to deep dive grave here. Could be a big time save for Beta if nothing is down here. Meanwhile, Beta is actually on the spike tile already. Ooh, it's a red.
Yeah, might be going for the depth warp here. Yeah. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe he just wants to get as much experience as he can.
I mean, there's no reason not to take as much experience as you can along the way. The Red Dragon can kill you at any time, really. And probably will. Looks like the Red Dragon decided it was any time.
Right, and we'll get a chance to see Treasury in just a second here.
Also, I think based on what we've seen, does Freebie Cave have to be underneath it? No, there's one other cave. What other? Oh, one trading cave. So it's one trading cave under Garenham, and then one and Freebie Cave under. You know what I mean?
Yes.
One of them is under Garenham, one of them is under Tangel. Ooh.
There's Token.
So that means this deep dive of grave for Atomraptors can provide basically nothing except potentially a gold grind. I didn't see if there was any gold in the treasury. Based on how much money Beta has, though, I'm going to assume no. And it looks like the second of the trading caves, the one you have to use last, is under Tangel. So once you got everything, you can just return back. But the problem right now is that Beta does not know where the harp is and may wander around trying to find it for a bit.
Yeah, he'll likely stop off in Garenham first, see what's back there, and then hopefully head in the direction of Foxes.
Didn't see what the fourth chest in grave was, but the final chest was an herb, and the fourth chest literally couldn't have had anything of note at all. Ooh, unlucky there. Wraith Knights have a higher dodge rate than most enemies, and that one exercises it and exorcises Atomraptors from that area. That said, now he'll also get the check here. I don't remember where the harp is for sure, but the only search spot that was active was coal. To answer a question in chat.
Yes, I think Dunno from chat has it right. Yeah, top of grave was harp.
Oh yeah, that would make sense because that's the thing Atomraptors has most notably found that Beta hasn't. Does have a minor bit of advantage himself though. While he does need to go to Second Continent to find the two things he's missing, he can go over there and immediately turn in the harp. It's just a question of if he finds the correct route over to Swamp Cave. Meanwhile, level 12 on Beta's side, the AP continues to go up. The HP is much better now, but not improved from level 11. So still not go, but getting very, very go adjacent.
It looks like potentially an herb. Herb in the back.
Yeah, it's just down to our racers trying to find the thing or things that the other has that they don't. It's basically just functionally one location because it's very easy to explore second continent for atomraptors, but fully one location for Beta, who just needs to find Grave and can exit out immediately after getting the harp chest. Still a very close race, though, and Sleep Red Dragons, as they always do, loom large.
Yep, looks like Beta's heading right to the coast, just double checking to make sure that tiny gap in his map was fully filled.
Yeah, I don't know that this leads anywhere. But
no, that was a dead end, but I don't think he ever did the connection between
okay.
to the west of Garenham and the west of Start, so...
Yeah, always good to get those checked out when you can. That said, it will get him involved in another Red Dragon fight, though he probably would have had that anyway. Still has a chance to live this one, though.
It looks like atomraptors is heading in the right direction. He saw the extra land over there. He's trying to work his way over.
Still has plenty of MP, and there's a healing town on the other side, so this should be fine for him.
All right, Beta not quite in the direction he needs to be. It looks like he's, again, clearing off some unexplored portions of his map.
Yeah, it is generally the correct decision to make, in my opinion, but it does definitely hurt a bit knowing that the only thing he actually needs is just up, go up.
There's also the very real happenstance of a place where you died or cast return out of. You may forget that you didn't quite finish exploring in that direction. Definitely been there before.
Atomraptors also doing the correct play here in terms of diving mountain before going through Swamp Cave, but also we know the only things that's going to net him are Flute and Death Necklace. One of which doesn't look useful, and the other one, to be fair, there have been a few golems around. I don't think they're nerfed it anyway, so...
Right, Beta picks up Hurt more, so slightly speedier kills for a few mobs.
Does nothing against the Red Dragons, though, who resist it heavily. I do like his decision to just... I think a lot of racers might potentially get kind of worried about these Sleep Red Dragons, but there's, like, if you're exploring, there's no winning. Just swing whenever you can, and don't top yourself up too much, because you're just going to run out your resources completely that way. Atomraptor's finding the first of those two items in here. Does he also? No, he got the ring already. Yeah, the ring was also in Grave, I think.
Yeah, I was right in those top 3 chests.
Nice crit against a Red Dragon. Those are always welcome when it's a Red Dragon with sleep. especially when you've already been dealt a little bit of damage and aren't quite at full health.
Atomraptors chooses to keep the flute rather than casting it aside.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much point to casting it aside right now. The AP where it is, there's not much reason to worry that you'll need fairy water space so far.
Very true.
Beta, I think, has to be nearly done checking out all these little crevices that he didn't quite full clear last time. Meanwhile, Adam is nearly done exploring Mountain Cave, so both racers will be go and or grind and go relatively soon.
Yep, and Beta has a bit of a experience buffer at this point. See how that plays out as the explorations continue to diverge here, or converge.
Yeah,
Beta is heading in the right direction, it looks like.
As long as he takes a west turn up here, he'll be good. Atomraptors, meanwhile, finding the town. And also a deal to Magic Wyvern. I don't...
They did not show us that before. We did not. At least I didn't see it.
They'll get him the stones. Now he just needs to continue on here and find Tablet Cave, and he'll have the armor. Also, definitely needs to find the Harp Trading Cave over here. That's the one big advantage that I would say Atomraptors has, is while he is a little bit behind in experience, he does have the advantage of being perfectly placed right now.
All right, there is Grave right on the Beta screen, calling out to him.
So this is going to be an absolute foot race. There's the harp. Curious if Beta will check the other two. Generally is a good idea. Checking his stats, and he will check the other two.
Yeah, I probably would since you're sitting right there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no real reason not to. It's a very small time loss that could save your bacon in the end. And Atomraptors has found Tablet Cave. So it is now basically just going to be a race for... Ooh, I think Beta is maybe going to try a gold grind here. He was walking back and forth in the top of... Yep, he's going for the gold grind. Oh, true. He also doesn't have return. That said, I am of the opinion that silver shields are most useful in low agility seeds and high agility seeds, and this definitely seems to be qualifying for a low agility seed, so not a bad decision to go for the silver shield if he decides to.
Yeah, you gotta imagine having a gold man as your choice for the death warp. It's frustrating.
Especially since it doesn't want to remember it has an ability, doesn't it? I think it had like Little Breath or something?
It's got sleep, so it's extra turns for it to put him to sleep.
Oh, I thought it had Little Breath or something, but that makes it even worse. No, it does have Little Breath. Okay, there we go. Finishes them off with it. So Weak Breath will send him home. Atomraptor's just trying to find Harp Cave, which is Harp Training Cave, which is maybe up here. It was somewhere up to the northeast, right?
Yeah, it was on the eastern side of this continent, so he should be stumbling upon it soon. It looks like he went clockwise to Beta's counterclockwise.
And it looks like we will have the gold grind here. He'll be going to 14,800 or so gold to get the best shield in the game. There we go. That's it right there on atomraptor screen.
He's going to face the same problem as Beta, where he will not have return, so he'll need to choose one of these mobs to send him home.
And the good news is, I believe that was that an Axe Knight he just fought?
Yeah, so having an Axe Knight right there will definitely be to his benefit.
Yeah, honestly, considering the spike tiles we've seen, probably best to just grind that out and then take the Death Warp, or even just walk back to Cole. A bit rough, but the spike tiles are not the best.
Sure, well, he's not too far off from Swamp Cave, so he could also just go ahead and do that spike tile, which we know is a red dragon.
Yeah, the rub is going to be if the stop spell doesn't land, or if you get unlucky, you're going to be sent home, and this isn't too close to home.
Well, I think he wants to get sent
And
home.
also,
where the trade-in is.
No, I think he's trying to find.
Oh no, okay. Yeah, it looks like it.
And yeah, that one, I didn't realize they didn't have stop spell. Still, somehow. Feels like we've had most of the spells for a while, but stop spell is one of two eluding them along with return, so I would imagine...
Might be heading back to the Axe Knights, yeah.
It's a bit of a walk, but it's the best grind we've seen so far, I think, probably. Depends on the rest of the zone a little bit. Oh, I looked away and did not see Beta's level. My goodness.
Well, there's the HP.
Honestly, that's pretty go, I'd say. Especially with the Silver Shield.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 15 heal bores, 133 AP. That's definitely go.
So this is going to be interesting. There's no real disadvantage, honestly. Atomraptors will probably get close to the level while Beta is grabbing the trade-in. So this is going to be very close to see who gets into Sherlock first.
Now, they will have a slightly higher likelihood of having to burn a heal more or two on the way down due to all the sleep floating around in the seed, but particularly the red dragons.
That's it. I think when it comes to red dragons with sleep, you just kind of, at least my thought process has always been, you just kind of just got to run them and hope you don't get unlucky, because if they want to stop you, no amount of MP will actually save your life. But yeah, right now
we got parity and exploration and about 1,000 experience difference, so
yeah, it is
7 Axe Knights behind for Atomraptors at this point.
Yeah. To answer a question in the chat, yeah, Beta does have 12 heal mores. Average for this AP value is around, 13 swings? So if he doesn't lose any resources, he's in good position, and obviously that's a lot to ask for if they're dragons with sleep, but the Silver Shield does at least help along with the 120 HP to maybe make this a dive, and who knows? Red dragons don't have to be in Sherlock, right? Right?
The question is, what monster haven't we seen, and how can it ruin their day? I don't think we've seen wizards or wolf lords or green dragons yet.
I think maybe we've seen the werewolf. No, maybe we haven't.
We saw the werewolf. I don't think we saw a wolf lord, or the other way around. Whatever the yellow ones are.
The yellow ones are the werewolves. That always
okay. Yeah, werewolf.
Me too.
Lord should be the top one, right?
That's my opinion always. It's the Lord of the Wolves. That beats Were of the Wolves.
Meanwhile, we've got a raid coming in from Jay Coper. Jay Coper, thanks for the raid. Been a pretty speedy seed today. They started with Erdrick's Sword. The map has been doing its best to try to exact revenge on them for starting with Erdrick's Sword, but our runners have pushed through. Just about 1,000 experience gap between when Beta and atomraptors had parity. Beta's a little bit in the lead right now, and we're going to see what's in Charlock once he works his way over there.
Yeah. One thing to be noting in chat, Beta is repelling those, and I believe he just picked up Fairy Water, so... Or repelling those is in repelling two of the enemies you haven't seen in the form of werewolves and wizards. Will not quite repel the green dragon unless he somehow gets another level, but I can't imagine that's on the table.
Right. Meanwhile, atomraptors is one more kill here away from getting his level, and then he'll be off to the races as well.
Yeah, I felt a little bit closer than it ended up being for a little bit there. That said, again, Charlock is the great decider.
Yeah, I think one of the things that worked in Beta's advantage at this point is just like how many kills he was getting on the overworld. Like he did not run from a red dragon, did not care about sleep, swung and healed him down and kept pressing on.
Yeah, it's dangerous and it always feels bad, but oftentimes it is the correct decision because you're going to get something out of it. I said we do have a long walk over to Charlock, finding it now. And Beta is the first to put the drop down at around 50 minutes.
Yeah, it must be nice for your first enemy to be a blue dragon, which we know are very nerfed at this point.
There's the green dragon.
Yeah, with 74 agility, green shouldn't be too much trouble. Got over 50% to run from.
Yeah, you should generally feel comfortable running away from them, which is when they have you right where they want you. Okay, there's going to be a golem here. That's an easy enemy to get away from, but at the same time, there's not much disadvantage aside from time to just fluting them and running away instead. Especially after they already have a swing on you.
Right, atomraptors picks up his drop. He'll be heading off to Charlock himself.
One disadvantage here is not only does atomraptors lack the silver shield, he also lacks the large shield, so he is a whopping 16 defense points behind. I don't think that really affects the DL2 math a bit, but it could make sleep reds, if they are in Charlock, a bit more worrisome. That's
Important too is we still don't have stop spell.
Yeah.
So if we do have another, yeah, if it's on the spike, then that could get dicey.
At that point, it just turns into sheer RNG, really. But the game again has jokes. Speaking of Charlotte, though, I don't think we've seen a single really threatening thing in here for Beta. We haven't seen the red, I don't think. I don't think we've seen the Armored Knight, just the golems.
Yep, it's been golems, greens and blues, and star wyverns.
Oh,
there we go. We just had to talk about it, and then he would show up.
We must use the commentator's curse aggressively and offensively. They don't look too dangerous, but with 74 agility, they're one of the few enemies that can run block you still a fair bit. And the other one is this red dragon, again, which has sleep. So they are in, I believe this would be the bottom zone of Charlotte.
That's my understanding. So we're going to see how this bottom floor goes. It looks like this is where the big bads were hiding.
Seed finally woke up.
Yeah, but Beta's already burned through a couple of his heal mores at this point.
That said, Garen, I believe that was the Mercy Rule run, and he knew he could do it. And even if it wasn't, honestly, with the Silver Shield, you might be safe at that point from an Armored Knight. But you're never safe from this. I believe that was a back attack sleep by the Red Dragons.
Oof, gets away. Oh,
Meanwhile,
Reds were on the top floor, and they,
yeah.
they put atomraptors to sleep. That's rude.
Atomraptor's already 2 herbs down on the top floor. That feels rough, but Beta is still in a pretty good position here. But it all depends on this spike tile, and also getting to it. We'll say one thing, Beta is being a bit risky, not healing between fights, but I don't know how many herbs he has left.
The Reds are out in force now.
Oh, that was his last. He is down all his herbs, but it isn't a red dragon. That's the good news. You'd really prefer to see a blue on the spike tile, though.
Yeah, and if he spends any MP for sleep at this point, he's going to be spending a heal more. Oh no, wait. Maybe not. I can count.
No, you're
I can
right.
count, guys.
He's
I'm good at this game, I swear.
He's 1 over 12 heal mores. That just cost him a heal more right there. He's now down to shoot, I can count as well. 11. That said, 11 still should be safe. 11 is basically like, that's even without doubles, you're generally going to be fine there. The problem is DL1 doesn't have to be kind, and DL2 doesn't have to not back attack. Meanwhile, Atomraptor is making short work of some of the upper Sharlock floors, but still a ways to go. Needs Beta to die in this fight. And so far, it's not going Beta's way.
I think he spell.
Yeah.
At 10 heal mores is cutting it closer.
I think now he needs good swings or a double. And a 9 and opening 8 isn't a good swing so far.
Yeah, apologies to the audience for the lack of counting. I'm bad at doing math out loud, so.
I'm only good at doing math out loud, but also I don't think anyone wants to hear that. That said, one thing that's saving Beta here is it's a very mild increase to your damage at this point, but he did save those Fairy Water for the fight itself, and they have rolled really nicely. I think he's... Oh, and Atomraptors get sent home. Now he even more now needs Beta to die in this fight, but I feel like Beta's probably, with the Fairy Water rolls I've seen, it feels good for Beta so far.
That low rolling heal more did not feel good, but he got through it without the Dragon Lord getting a double. Thank you, Hoodie, for the raid. You may be seeing the end of the game. We're going to see how the rest of these swings play out.
Beta down to his last 2 heal mores, but it feels good, but it's just going to depend on the rolls. But he did get a double there too, so I think he's probably good. Meanwhile, Atomraptor's deciding to go for another level after a failed dive.
All right, no more heal mores. That's a decently low swing from the Dragon Lord, and he takes it. Get your GGs out in chat for Beta, who takes the win in this race.
Had at least 2 swings to spare, so we made it in comfortably despite all the bad luck. Silver Shield and high HP can really save out in some of those fights. Never mind the fairy water rolling as nicely as it did.
That is a cozy sub-hour official race time of 58:41.
Atomraptors, so far looks like he's gonna finish this out with level 15.
And we're going to see if Beta decides to join us in the commentary booth. Atomraptors just swinging away on these stone men.
Not a bad fight, but definitely a slow one. And welcome in to a not slow one, GG Beta.
Thank you. That was quite a worrisome ending, I have to say.
Yeah, we were watching as the Red Dragons didn't show up, and they didn't show up, and they didn't show up, and then they came out in force on that bottom floor.
Yeah, I figured I had doubles odds. That was actually a really tough choice as to when to go because we didn't have stop spell yet. And I had obviously no idea if Red Dragons had any stop resistance. I didn't know if they would be in Sharlock. I didn't know if one would roll onto the spike. I mean, it's only 1 in 7 that it rolls on the spike, but there's always pretty good odds that it's going to roll into at least one zone of Sharlock. So knowing that it was likely to cast Sleep against me, I knew I was rolling the dice there. But I mean, in my defense of the strategy, stop spell could have easily not come until 16. So if your choice is to just dive Sharlock now, knowing that you're perfectly capable of beating the Dragon Lord if you're not red dragoned, I think you have to take that chance because potentially having to take 2 levels is not great, especially when one of the grinds is a red dragon with sleep.
No, it's very true and clearly worked out for you in your favor. It did turn out, we saw from Atomraptor's side that Red Dragons were on the top floor, and they showed up for him. So they actually sent him home in the first couple of floors there, and so he decided to go pick up the extra level.
Actually, he caught up really fast in Sharlock just due to encounter luck, I think. He was actually past the choice floor when he died. So that said, you were in the lead, just not by more than, I would say, a couple minutes.
I'm not at all surprised by that with the Erdrick's sword start. Usually Erdrick's sword starts are very quick seeds unless there's just terrible stat growth, but we had pretty rapid growth with our strength especially, so it seemed like the seed kind of flew by. I mean, there were red dragons all over the place, but other than that, the seed didn't put up a whole heck of a lot of resistance.
Yeah, I think the Red Dragons were a lot of the story of this seed, because I think one of the things that got you ahead of Atomraptors, you guys kind of separate directions, got the opposite things, and we were kind of talking about, like, when you guys crisscross, how close is it going to be? But what ended up happening is you had a decent experience lead at that point, largely because you were just willing to like screw these red dragons, sleep. I'm just going to keep swinging on them every time I see one. So what was like your reasoning, like thinking that it was worth it, especially early on, when maybe your HP wasn't quite there, that would have made some other players skittish?
I knew I had a lot of attack power, and I knew that agility wasn't super great either, so it's like, well, if I try to run, odds are it's going to block me, and if it does, it might cast sleep and I might die anyway. So if I'm basically like 50-50 to die during the encounter, I may as well take a shot at trying to kill it, because the 350 experience is super valuable, especially when it's a low level potential finish at 14 as this was.
No, that tracks. Thank you for the explanation. We do have atomraptors joining us. Atomraptors, how you feeling?
Hey, GG's Beta. Yeah, it's a good seed. Yeah, like Beta was describing, I would say pretty easy for the most part, not too much except for the red dragons with sleep. I certainly didn't want any part of them. I was routing to dodge them as much as possible. And then, yeah, I took a dive on 14. It looks like Beta also did. And yeah, I got three red dragon encounters, and the third one got me. So that's that.
GG's Raptors. Yeah, it seems like this seed was, based on how it went, it was going to come down to some sort of RNG thing with the Reds. It just felt that way. Like, even if we had stop spell, like, they could have easily rolled stop resist and we would have been pretty much in the same situation no matter what. So it's just down to whether or not they use sleep, whether or not they block us, whether or not they ambush with sleep, whether or not we get away. It's a whole lot of that, which we're all used to.
Yep. Yeah. I saw that you got a silver shield. Where'd you find the silver shield? Like, there's one in Rimmeldart, but I wasn't going all the way back there.
There was one in Cole, and it was the stupidest thing ever, because it just popped into my head when I was in top of grave. I'm like, all right, I can take the gold grind and get the silver shield, since I have to come back and do the harp trade and do a back and forth like that because the drop was under start. And then I got a gold man encounter, so I was waiting for it to just put me to sleep and do weak breath against Erdrick's armor, which was terrible. But I'm just like, yeah, this might take a minute, but this could easily be worth it, because I was obviously scared of the Reds and I wanted every little bit of extra defense I could get to deal with that and possibly stay alive with like 2 HP or something.
Yeah, we were chuckling in the commentary booth that the golem just kept swinging on you instead of using breath. It's like, we know what he's trying to do, and it's just not cooperating.
I mean, it did melee me for 8 at one of the swings. So I'm like, all right, wait a max roll, buddy.
Keep 15 more of these.
Yeah, I think I was at like 80. I think it was like 80 hit points when I started the fight. I was just like, yeah, I'm doing this.
Did you have to grind at all? I was struggling to, I'll say, get levels with the red and Swamp Cave not there, and then the Stone Man and Hogsness, like 8 million miles away from everything else. I ended up finding like an Axe Knight, Demon Knight thing to get to 14, but I was like, I do not want to take any more levels.
I was mostly just taking fights on the overworld as I could get them, and I was fighting every red dragon because, like, I was just like, I'm not that likely to run, so I'm just gonna take my chance and just hope. And
wow,
it kind of worked out, but it was slow though, because like I was getting put to sleep a lot. I wasn't dying, thankfully, but it was like the fights would be like, get put to sleep, get taken down into the red, heal more, get put to sleep, get taken down into the red. It's just a lot of that, but it kind of worked.
Okay, yeah. Most of my red, I routed not to encounter reds because I didn't think I could take them at all. I got a couple blues before I knew they had heal more or whatever. But yeah, I kind of struggled for experience. I even did like a little mini grind before heal more, or not before heal more, but after heal more, but before hurt more, just to couldn't find anything, but.
I think I tried to kill the first blue dragon I saw when I saw Hurt come out, and then it healed more after I did like 70 damage. I'm like, oh, come on. This would have been the easiest grind in the entire seed. But no.
Yeah, I did the same thing, but crit it twice, so I thought they were a good enemy for a while.
And that's your first mistake, thinking blue dragons are a good enemy.
Right. That's what cost me the seed. Certainly not the red dragons. All right, GG's. Yeah, good luck in the rest. And yeah, fun seed.
Thank you. Good luck to you as well. Hope to see you in the brackets.
Okay, thanks, Atomraptors. Beta, any additional thoughts?
Just a fun, quick seed, completely unlike the first one I played. I hope we get back into the slogs for my remaining group races, and thank you to the volunteers that are helping to cover these things. I'm trying to get my group races out of the way as quickly as I can so I can join you guys, but for the time being, I'm not doing it because I'm very, very afraid of seed bleed.
Valid. So I'm keeping the comms and the races on separate days.
There were a couple times in there where I was like, oh, he's encountered that. And I was like, no, wait, that was in my seed a couple hours ago. Whoopsie. So without any more thoughts, very fast race, very close race. Tomorrow we have at least one restream, I think maybe only the one, a 7 p.m. Eastern race between Hoodie and Ursine. So if you're around, stay tuned for that. Stay tuned. Tune in for that tomorrow. Don't stay tuned in for that. Be a bad idea. You'll be waiting a while. Do we have a raid target, Valerie? Or Zatrex?
Yeah, looks like we're looking at raiding into Dr. Mr. Holmes, who's doing a challenge run of Dragon Warrior 3. I did catch a little bit of this last night. He's doing a solo fighter run, which is as ridiculous as it sounds. So it could be pretty entertaining to watch him frustratingly try to complete this challenge.
Oh boy. So the raid is being fired off. Have a good night, everyone. Like I say, tune in tomorrow for more Dragon Warrior Randomizer.
Thanks, everybody.